It is not too early to be planning a vacation trip for later this year, and we are here to help. Kayak, the travel website, collected data on destinations people searched for online last year, more than 1 billion searches in all.
Condé Nast Traveler analyzed all this data, and here to tell us about it is the magazine's consumer news editor, Paul Brady. Paul, good morning.
Good morning.
So what's at the top of the list?
Milan, Italy is at the top of the list for trending destinations this year.
It's a fascinating list, and one of the cities I was most surprised to see in it was Hyderabad.
Yeah, well, Kayak is looking at the interest in flights to these places, and Hyderabad is one of these tech cities in India that people are totally intrigued to go to.
Let's talk about Rio also, because when I saw it on the list, I thought, well, the World Cup and the Olympics, is that what has generated hype?
Absolutely. People see the World Cup on TV. I was fascinated to watch those games, and they realize you really can go on vacation in Brazil, and you really can get there easily and have a wonderful time. So the real trick is to make sure you get there this year rather than waiting to go next year when the Olympics are on and everybody else wants to go.
And everybody else wants to go, exactly. How influential is food in terms of people picking their destination?
I will say for me, it's a big thing.
Talk about one of the biggest motivators for people's travel, absolutely, is food. If you look at the top 10 cities that people are interested in, 5 of those are major foodie destinations, whether it's Toronto, Nashville, Savannah, Georgia. Definitely food is motivating people's trips.
What are some of the most popular vacation destinations in Europe? And I also want to ask, because I think people hear Europe and they think that's going to be a really expensive flight.
Yeah, absolutely. It remains those big cities, London, Paris, Rome, Barcelona. But really the trick is, if you want to buy airfare to Europe, you need to have bought it yesterday. Right? So if you're looking for a great deal, do not delay on the airfare. You can figure out the hotels and restaurant reservations and things later, but book those flights now to get the best deal to Europe this summer.
The dollar's helping a little bit, but you still got to plan ahead. If you're a beachgoer, what are some of the top beach destinations?
Well, there are a couple of new beach destinations that we're keeping an eye on. Grenada is one, Caribbean island that's sort of a little bit further afield and becoming a little bit easier to get to, so that's increasing people's interest. But also Cartagena. We're so hot on Cartagena right now. New hotels, great restaurants, great nightlife. It's sort of a Latin American New Orleans. And it's super exciting. One of my colleagues has been 3 times in the last year, if that gives you a sense of how hot it is.
Affordable?
Absolutely affordable and easier to get to now. JetBlue is flying there, other airlines coming in. It really is easy to get to, and people really should consider Colombia.
I love that your list has a lot of cities overseas that most of us aren't thinking about, but let's talk about stateside, if you want to stay within the United States, because I feel like New York and Las Vegas are sort of perennial. They're always on these lists.
Yeah, absolutely. The big cities, New York, Chicago, they always end up on the top of people's interest list. But the trick is, don't go in July. That's when everybody else goes, so you're going to spend more to get there. So if you can move that summer vacation up to June, later to August, that's a great idea. Or just visit in spring or fall. You're going to save a ton of money.
And airfare-wise, again, the best thing is to buy as early as you can?
Domestically, you can look a little bit closer in, maybe 2 months, 3 months out for great domestic airfares.
Okay.
Wonderful lists. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you.